Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 1313 podcast, the most mediocre podcast in the Star Wars universe. I'm Jacob.
And I'm Jackson.
Welcome back to all you Regs and to all you Shinies. Welcome to the podcast. This is the podcast. Please, before we begin, make sure that you hit that like button, you subscribe, you leave a comment, you hit us up in the Patreon, because that helps us out. And every month we do a nice little giveaway. I don't know what we're doing this month.
We're still trying to decide it. It might just be the Coruscant Clone Trooper Build-A-Pack right now, but we'll end up seeing what it is.
We'll see. So make sure that you're in the Patreon to find out. Also, hit that join button down below to support us. You get a nice little thing next to your name, an icon. You're in the Club 1313, Level 1313 Club. You're super cool, and we appreciate each and every one of you that are a channel member. Also, make sure that you are following us on all of our social media, that being Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch. Also,
we also have new merch.
Yeah.
Brand new merchandise. We already have a couple people ordering it.
It's like this, but on white and on different stuff. And now that it's in mass order and not just in a box in our basement. So make sure that you go order that stuff if you like it. Very cool stuff here. Get your 1313 merch. Does it say it on the sleeve online?
No, unfortunately I wasn't able to get the vendor to do the sleeve.
If you meet us in person, you can get ones with the
if you meet us in person, you can do that.
Also, you're a small, medium, or large, because I didn't take into account XL or double XL or any of that stuff, because I'm stupid when I made that order. But I digress. As you guys may tell, we're down Tommy.
Unfortunately, we lost Tommy this week, everybody. He unfortunately had to switch shifts this week. So I feel like this specific season of the podcast has kind of just been like a huge scramble, because I've missed, Jacob's missed already. Now Tommy's finally missed after such a long time too. But
life's getting crazy. And it might get crazier, because yo homie may or may not be working at Disney this summer. I'm not going to say anything official whatsoever, because I haven't gotten official approval. But once I get official approval and I make a decision on whether I might be doing this path, I'll let you guys know. It's gonna be cool either way. And
you want to talk about the setup really quick today before we kind of get into it?
So we got a new setup. This isn't permanent by any means. It's a temporary
test.
This is a test that I'm doing because, one, I got a new computer and I've been itching to edit on this thing. This is a Razer Blade 17. It is a beast. I've been playing some Rainbow Six, some Minecraft, a little bit of CSGO 2, and it runs it so smooth and so nice. And I got this thing for editing, and I haven't edited anything on it yet, so I want to.
You need to.
I want to get my hands dirty and start working, see what this can really take. So I got 4K, 4K, 4K. That's going to be 12K footage all stacked together with audio, and it's going to be probably like an hour long. So I'm going to see I'm going to put the footage in, and if it starts dumping on itself, I'm gonna just do this at school tomorrow, because I don't want to overdo this computer, catch it on fire. But I also I just want to see what it's capable of. So that's gonna be exciting. So thank you to Penn West Edinburgh, the alma mater of Dave Filoni, for hiring me as a lab aide so I can take this equipment. So and Brian, you didn't see me take all this equipment today, because it's funny, like. I take nothing, and then out of nowhere, I take a bulk of stuff, like just a ton of stuff. So, it's definitely the most cameras I've ever set up in one spot. Usually,
it took forever to set up.
It didn't take forever.
Yeah, it did, bro. It took half an hour to set everything up.
Hey, it looks good.
As opposed to our 5-minute setup. Well, that's a lot.
That's one camera turning on 2 lights and going okay, but this is 3 cameras, 2 lights. This and 3 tripods as well, so, and then making sure that batteries are charging and like SD cards formatted and all that fun stuff. So this is it's a little beefy, but before we go into all the other funnities of this episode,
we do have a lot of Star Wars news to talk about first in this week. But before we do that, Jacob, what did you do this week? Tell the people where you were.
So last week you may have noticed that I wasn't here, and it wasn't because of work or school or anything else this time. It was because I went to Galaxy's Edge.
What?
So
finally one of us went.
I know, and it was the greatest day of my life. There's going to be a vlog coming out about it soon.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I have 46 minutes of footage. Sheesh. So the first half of the day, we get there. Well, first we go to Animal Kingdom. I get a couple things there. We go on Everest. That was awesome. I get a couple things of footage there, but I'm filming most stuff on my glasses at this point.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be out like a tourist and like this and stuff. And then we get to Galaxy's Edge, and still I'm recording on my glasses most of the time. We get to Rise of the Resistance, ride breaks down. We wait in line, they kick us all out. They give us fast passes though. So we go from there and we start just exploring. We go see the Falcon, get in line for Smuggler's Run, do that. Awesome. I got a little bit of footage from Smuggler's Run on my glasses.
Heck yeah, dude.
Super cool. Our pilot was an idiot. Because I thought it was going to be like Star Tours. No, the pilot actually dictates how well you do.
I have heard that before.
And,
okay.
Every time you hit something, it feels like you're getting in a car accident at 40 miles per hour. Like, you get mega whiplash. I had, like, in the video, the lady hits along us. Sorry, everybody, after we get thrown around. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. Even though we did very poorly, it was, like, super, super fun. So we did that, shopped around. We tried to hit Rise of the Resistance again. Failed again. So then after that, we said, screw it. We went to Oga's Cantina. And I ran up the most expensive bar tab of my entire life at $160. And
massive L for you.
Well, I was paying for everybody, and everybody was just going to pay me back. But
did they?
Yes, I made them immediately.
Okay. That's what's important.
But I got 3 drinks when I was there, and let me tell you, them Jones were strong. And I was on an empty stomach, and we only have 45 minutes when you're there, so I downed all 3 of them in like 15 minutes. So I was on cloud 9 for like the next hour. So, and there's a little bit of footage of that, me holding up my bloody Rancor going, bloody Rancor had me like where the Twi'leks at, where the hoe was at. So I was like, I was having a grand old time, and like everybody else in my group is so chill, and I'm just like, but our waitress so lovingly left me a little present and forgot to take the menu, so now it is mine, and and the coasters, which are now mine. But because I have that, and it has basically the recipes for all the drinks on it, and like the names of everything. You may or may not be seeing a 1313 drunk cast of us taste testing all of the...
That would be fun to do after the batch ends.
Yeah,
like all the co-hosts here do something fun like that, because I'll be out of school at that point.
Because what I'll do is I'll make like a vlog of me going to the store and getting all of the drinks, because it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot.
So maybe we shouldn't do all of it, because that's going to be mad expensive.
I'm going to do only the alcoholic stuff, because there's like all of the like non-alcoholic stuff as well.
Yeah.
So I want to do all that, and then everybody's going to get like, we're going to have all the drinks out, and then we're going to do a tier list. We're going to go through them all, and we're going to see which ones we like the best, and hopefully by the end of it, we get silly and have good content, because I will be finishing every single drink, because that would be wasteful if you didn't. But either way, I think that would be a really fun video. So we did that. I went right after that. I went to the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular.
Heck yeah, dude.
And I wouldn't say I was plastered, but I was definitely buzzed, on the better side of buzzed. So I'm sitting there, and we got front row at Indiana Jones, and I'm sitting there like, bah, the entire time. It was so cool. And then after that, we tried to hit Rise of Resistance again. Didn't work. So then I went and got blue milk, did a little bit of shopping, got Jackson a lightsaber. I'll show it really quick because I got it right here next to me. Yeah, I know. I'm just such a good brother. I got Tommy something, too.
I bought it. I gave him the money. But right here, in this case, I have Ezra Saber. Super, super stoked to have this. It looks absolutely amazing. I put the blade in it earlier. I mentioned this on the show, and I feel like I'll confirm it right now. We did secure tickets to go to Steel City Con in Pittsburgh. So if any of our listeners and viewers are in the Pittsburgh area and maybe want to say hi to us, we will be at Steel City Con on the Saturday for April 13th. And I'm going to try to get this lightsaber signed by Natasha Libor Diaz, because if you're a 1313 fan, you'll know my obsession with Sabine.
You want Sabine to sign that saber?
Yeah, I want Sabine and then Ezra to sign. Well, it's the saber that Ezra gives her, and then I want Taylor Gray to sign the other side of it, and then when I meet live action Ezra, eventually in my life, I'll have him sign the other side of it.
So I'm going to, in July,
I did see that.
In South Dakota, that Mr. Lars Mikkelsen Throne himself will be at. But Ezra's also going to be.
Oh, who's this dumb ginger? Thank you.
Anyway, so, so we did a little bit more shopping. I got Tommy something, but he's not here, so he doesn't get it yet, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, because he's. I don't know if he's going to watch this. He probably. Will.
Watches everything. He's watching everything.
Hi, Tommy. So you don't get to know what it is until you get here. So I got him something as well, and then I tried to get Cal Saber. and they didn't have it, so I was really sad. Just because it's like we don't have it here. The one I have is an Ultra Saber.
It's trash.
And when I say I hate this thing with a passion, I hate it with a passion. It sucks. These guards are falling off. I hope they never reach out to sponsor us, because I'm gonna hit them with the fattest no of all time. They suck. I digress. So after that, we get in line for we're about to get in line for Rise of the Resistance one more time. I'm just praying that we can get on. We have our fast passes. I'm talking to this dude. I'm gonna give him a shout out. So sorry. I believe his name was Sam. Sam looked like Andor, and I was like, dude, you look like Andor. He's like, that's the best compliment I've ever been given. Wow. So me and him just start talking about Star Wars and stuff for a while, and then after a while, he's just like, you want me just to... So we got us through the fast pass line without scanning our fast passes. So we got right to the front, and I got to go on Rise of the Resistance, and it was life changing.
I thought you didn't get to go on Rise of the Resistance. My bad.
I got to go, and it was awesome. I filmed the whole thing of that one like this. So just because I can't. So there's a 4-minute ride through of that. If anybody wants to see it in the vlog, I'll probably have a time code so you could skip it if you don't want to see the whole thing. But it was really freaking neat. So I finally got to go on that, and then right after we went to Tower of Terror, and our fast pass transferred over. So we skipped a 120-minute line and got on it in 10 minutes, and it was awesome.
Nice.
And then after that, we went to Magic Kingdom, hit Space Mountain, did a little bit of shopping, then we left for the night. And it was amazing. And then and that was just day one of my trip. I was there for 5 more days.
Yeah.
So, and then the very last day, I went to Disney Springs, and I got some footage of that. I have a bunch of miscellaneous footage from when I was there, from when I went to an aquarium. I went on a hike. And the channel members and the patrons are going to get to see that footage. I'll just put it a small compilation of what I did with my trip that wasn't Disney. But I did go to Disney Springs as well. I did some shopping around there, and they had Cal Kestis's lightsaber. I got that. I shipped it to the home, and it's not here yet. I haven't gotten an email about it, and there's no tracking number on my receipt, so I'm kind of freaking out. So I'm going to call him tomorrow, because I have both receipts for the saber and the shipping. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to try to call him and get a hold of somebody, because if that gets lost because somebody didn't do their job,
he's going to cry.
I'll be very sad, because it was $170. It was, I know.
That's what I paid for the Ezra one, so...
Yeah, well, you got just the hilt. This was the blade and the hilt, together, and that's the only way it was sold. And I didn't even look at the price. I have a footage of me going, do you have it? And they're like, yes. I was like, can I have one, please? I didn't even look at the price. I didn't ask to hold it. I was just like, give it to me. So, because I was shocked that they had... Because I saw somebody with it at the beginning of the day at Galaxy's Edge. I was like, oh, if I go to Doc Onders, that's what I'm going to get. And then they didn't have it. So...
L, bro.
It was an L. It was such an L. But now, hopefully, fingers crossed, in the chat, give me your praise or whatever, because I really hope it gets here, because if it doesn't, I will be devastated. So that was my whole week last week, and then Monday of this week.
Nice.
And it's Wednesday as of right now. So I was basically in Florida an entire week, and it was awesome. I want to go back to Galaxy's Edge, and if I work at Disney this summer, then I will... hopefully get to work at Galaxy's Edge, and I will be able to be able to get my friends and family in, because that would be something I could do. Yeah. So I'm super hopeful for that. But that whole experience was awesome. If you haven't gone to Galaxy's Edge yet, you got to. I stepped in the Millennium Falcon and I cried. It was awesome. It was it hits so different, because you see pictures of it online and then you see it in person, and it's just. The pictures don't do any of it justice. It's so cool. So that was my week last week.
Nice. Now that the app session is over, now I'm with you. Dang, maybe are we allowed to bleep stuff, Jacob? I'm sorry about that. I used my one word.
I'm not gonna remember.
That's all right. I did a lot of miscellaneous stuff. Scheduled my flight to Hawaii. Discord. Close friends of us obviously know when that's going to happen. Probably near the end of May, so I'll probably have 3 more podcast episodes in me before I go, and then I go digital. So that's interesting. That'll be a lot of change coming up too. Just try not to think about it right now. Just focusing on the batch, focusing on the important stuff.
I'm trying to concoct a workflow so not everything's on StreamYard. So kind of like what I do here, where I cut back and forth between that cam, and that cam. I want to basically do that, but you have your own camera, whether it's a webcam or a phone camera, and I go back and forth between the main cam and that one, and then we have you on Discord or something.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. But there was that. I saw Dune Part 2, which was actually pretty
without
good.
me.
Womp womp.
Without me.
Womp womp. No, but it was actually pretty good. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend it. I did some other things, and I can't really remember what that was, but that's okay, I guess.
Oh, if any of you guys, any of the 4 of you that watch this show that live in our area, if you were watching the Oscars, I had a commercial.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
That is
true.
commercial on the Oscars. I got hired to shoot a commercial with a production company I've already been working with on a couple different projects, and I got to light the commercial, and it was a 2-part thing, and it aired during the Oscars, which was awesome. Now that it's over and now that it aired, I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to talk about it now in full. So it was for a tailor company in our area, and he does a lot. He's kind of big. He did the suits for Percy Jackson.
Oh.
And for their premiere, so
I did not know that.
Yeah, so he's big balls. He's super cool, super nice guy, but it's primo tailoring. So if you're in our area and you need a suit done, go to him. He's the real deal. But his space was super cool. Shooting it was fun. It was a 12-hour shoot. It was like 3 locations, and we got to shoot in a really big fancy theater in our hometown called the Warner Theater, which was a lot of fun just to get in there and be in that space when there's nobody there. And those scenes, I think, turned out the best. I love it. Have you seen it yet?
No, I didn't get to see it. Is it online?
I have it on my computer.
Just show it to me when
I'll
we're
show
done.
it to you when we're finished. But I'm super happy with how it came out. And yeah.
Okay. I feel like finally getting into some Star Wars news. Some of the biggest news that we saw this week is that Disney it was either the end of March or somewhere middle April, they are going to be releasing Obi-Wan Kenobi and Andor on Blu-ray as a physical copy now. And Moon Knight. And they're doing a lot of the other Marvel shows as well. They're doing the Falcon and Winter Soldier. But I'm happy that they're releasing this as a physical media item finally. I know I'm part of the majority of people my age that are begging for the Bad Batch and for Clone Wars Season 7 to also be on discs, so we can have the whole trifecta of Star Wars media as a physical thing too, besides having it on Disney+. But I'm hyped. Do you think that's something that you're going to get?
I think it's cool because the discs are 4K.
Yes.
So it's going to be a higher resolution than what you can get with streaming.
Oh, exactly.
So if you have a 4K TV or anything like that, it's going to be a just higher resolution, better picture quality than anything that we've already seen. It already looks really good on streaming, but this will be a new level. But I'm poor. I don't have a 4K TV, or actually I don't know.
You have your Xbox.
Yeah,
that's all you need.
Yeah, but the TV resolution has to be 4K. It's a 1080 TV. It's gonna put out a 1080 video. You have to have I'm sorry, I have a 4K TV at my home. Plus, I'm gonna prioritize getting a sound bar before I get a new TV. But either way, I think it's pretty cool. It's gonna be a nice addition because they already have Mando season 1 and 2 on Steelbook. So this will be
they'll put season 3 out soon.
Yeah, hopefully. So, but if they would do that with the Clone Wars and with Bad Batch, that would be nice. I would appreciate that.
I want to have the full Clone Wars collection finally as a physical media thing. I've always wanted it, so hopefully we get it at some point. In more Star Wars news as well, starting as of recording right now, it's Wednesday, and Yakface had revealed to us that we are now going to be getting consistent reveals every Wednesday with a pre-order to follow that Thursday. So for this week, it was revealed to us that we were going to get an Enoch Trooper buildup with some Night Troopers. There was a TVC Vader and a Stormtrooper, and then we're getting the Black Series 3-pack on Amazon of Cal Kestis, the second sister, with a new cape. And we're also getting Approach Trooper with the Big Hammer. So that's a pretty exciting thing to see as well. I'm kind of glad they're bringing back like a Mando Monday-esque kind of thing, just so we can get more products in the line. And the only other thing that I really had for Star Wars news, have you seen the stuff about Cerevisi's Crystal?
What?
Okay, so there's a whole thing going around. Cerevisi's Crystal. It's either I'm pretty sure it's a Coke. Someone's going to have to correct me on the country. But it was for one country when they would air Star Wars specifically. They didn't want to cut to like commercial breaks and whatnot during it. They wanted to just throw advertisements like in the movie itself and then kind of continue. So it wouldn't really like take you out of it or whatnot. So like there's a few online examples. So if you look up Star Wars Cerevi Crystal, there's one clip where it's Ben Kenobi is reaching down to give Luke his lightsaber. Be like, this was your father's lightsaber. And he's holding a bottle of Cerevi, and it goes, Cerevi Crystal. And it's like a whole like song piece. Or like in Return of the Jedi when the Emperor's like, do you want your lightsaber? And then he like pulls up a Cervi Crystal. It's like a hilarious like meme. It's just funny that like I never knew this was a thing. Yeah, okay, it was in Chile, my bad. So Jacob's looking at the thing.
Yes.
Jamie, pull this up on the screen.
Jedi Knight, the same as your
Are we
father.
actually going to pull this up on the screen?
No, I
I was going to say, you can just Google this for yourself. Just Cervi Crystal, chili beer ads, or all Star Wars chili beer ads.
So we're looking at Obi-Wan. He's back here
Obi-Wan.
digging this chest.
To get Anakin's...
Oh,
yep, it's a
my-
cooler.
Oh my gosh.
It is arguably one of the funniest dudes, and then the movie just continues. It goes Cervi Crystal with like the logo coming at you on the screen, and then it's just like it cuts back to the movie. It's so
Obi-Wan's
hilariously.
whipping out another Cervi Crystal from his sleeve. What the hell? Why is it all Obi-Wan? It's only Obi-Wan.
No, there's points where the Emperor does it too, because it's probably also easy to hide an old man hand in a robe grabbing a beer. But yeah, so they were beer ads, to my correction, because I said it was soda. But if you get a chance, watch it on YouTube. It's really, really funny. That's all I really had in Star Wars news for this
I might
week.
throw one in.
You might throw one of
I
the
might throw
the
one of
things,
these.
and just because it was so ridiculous and
Yeah,
it surprised
like,
you.
you guys might get to see this, or at least like quietly. Or that's goofy as hell.
Dude, I know, I'm telling you, it's literally hilarious.
No, I had no clue that was a thing, but I wonder if that's like true.
It was just in Chile. Just premiered in Chile.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
now we're gonna finally get to the meat and potatoes of this podcast, The Bad Batch. It was a double episode premiere,
2 episodes of filler.
not filler this week. It was nothing but a banger week again.
It was as Skrillex would say, a bangerang.
We're gonna ignore that. Continuing on. Jacob, how did you feel about this week's episode?
No, they were dope. They were awesome. They were sickness. So usually I get up super early and I watch these with my dad. Our dad.
Your dad.
My father. Only mine. Not him anymore.
Okay.
I don't know why I keep saying that. It keeps happening.
You're weird.
It's probably because you don't live here anymore, and I just don't see you as often.
I guess.
I digress. Usually we get up and watch it right when it comes out, and both of us slept through our alarms today. So I waited till I was at school working on the computers with those big old Yamaha speakers, and I jacked it all the way up watching it, and it was amazing. It just sound is it's more than half of the experience. So then like jacking that up, it's just so cool. So yeah. I really enjoyed that. And with it on the other, so the just the episodes themselves were super good. Return of Wolf, finally had the tip sticky. It was really cool to see.
Dude, we gotta cut stuff from the episode sometimes. I got that dog in me after this, bro. I got wolf in me now, bro.
Huh?
Like the dog in me meme when it's
no,
like the
yeah,
X-ray
I know,
and
but it's
like...
the fact that you just went from, we gotta cut that to, I got the dot with like no transition point. So even if I wanted to cut it, there's nowhere for me to. So it's staying in. It's staying in.
But yeah, the episodes this week, everything so far really has just kind of been like non-stop action. So it's been a real change of pace from the other 2 seasons that we've had of the Bad Batch so far. At the end of this, I just wanted more. I put on my clown makeup once again every single week, and I wake up at 3 and I watch them when they come out, and I don't regret it for a second.
Oh no, that's the way to go.
It is so good. It is like, it's part of the experience, I feel like, to wake up at 3 a.m. Because we're on the East Coast, so it's out at 3 a.m. If you live in another part of the States and you get to not do unholy things like that, then good for you. But for us East Coasters who are hated by the Pacific Coast so much, thank you, Jacob, for fixing that.
Yeah, I think I bumped it or something at one point.
Uh-oh.
Oh well, I guess you could see me over here now.
Get back on your camera.
Okay.
Get back on your camera. But, yeah, absolutely loved it. What really, really kind of made the episode for me this week, too, was the return of Teth. When I saw that as early as I got up, that had me emotional, dude. Just because, you know, for us, the Clone Wars movie was the first Star Wars movie that we ever saw in the theaters. So it was just the old, original nostalgia of the Clone Wars and being like, holy cow, we're back to where it all began, finally.
And the music cues, too. You want to know what I loved?
What did you love, Jacob? The music.
The lean. The presence of lean.
He's talking about the purple clone trooper.
The lean trooper.
The lean trooper is now an official trooper that we've seen on screen.
Had me dizzy, bro. Lean trooper had me.
Dude, chill.
Slipping.
Chill.
No, shout out to the lean trooper. He died.
Yeah,
He died.
That was really the unfortunate part. We got a lot of awesome new clones, and then most of them got killed. Fireball got killed. Really trying to remember the other one that had this, like, the thing on his face like this. Unmemorable, I guess. I'm a fake Star Wars fan. Stop leaning forward here in my shot. So yeah, again, like I said, so we had a lot of new clone troopers introduced this episode, and again, they got killed off. It was unfortunate to see, but that's the Clone Wars. That's what we saw all the time. Just people just die off, and that's a normal part of war and conflict. So for all you people online that were like, no, the episode was crud because we lost all the clones, just take an L.
Yeah. Potato chip Jackson?
Jacob, stop that.
I like the CX troopers a lot. These new assassins, I think they're pretty cool.
Those are the CX.
CX troopers. At least that's what I gathered from the trailer when like one of them was talking and it said like CX whatever.
That's all we know of them as right now. Like exactly what Jacob said. It's in the subtitles.
But no, they're super cool. I think their armor's cool. I think this idea of them getting their brains wiped and then they're like, oh, I hate everybody now. Grr. I think it's cool. They're like little crosshairs. And speaking of crosshair, he's now a little overprotective, silly guy and who loves Omega. Get behind me. Stay down. Grr.
I think it's kind of funny he's taken on the hunter caring role for Omega. It's like the meme of like when your dad really doesn't want to buy a dog and then he buys the dog and then the dog is suddenly his like best friend on the planet and nobody else can touch it. That's Omega and Crosshair at this point. Nobody can touch Omega except Crosshair because he cares for her way too much at this point.
Yeah, it's a cool dynamic to see. I don't think it's gonna get superseded. I just think that they're building these characters so he can die at the end.
Yeah, we saw that with Tech last season. That's what Crosshair in this episode really had good, consistent dialogue. I feel like he's really come out of his shell and now he's comfortable talking before. He isn't the mysterious, quiet guy who doesn't say anything. He's not dark and edgy anymore. He's a regular person.
Just keep going like this is normal.
All right, and we're going to keep going like this is normal because Jacob's just blowing on the camera because it's overheating. So I'm going to look in this camera right over here instead. So, yeah, Crosshair's really becoming a whole lot more developed as a character. And I really appreciate seeing it. He's talking and speaking his mind more instead of just kind of going with the flow in general. So, yeah, I really like to see that. I was very, very excited personally when the CX trooper had his helmet lifted up again, because I cheered as thousands of fans who were like, it's gotta be Tech! It's gotta be Tech! Suddenly we're like, oh no, I guess it isn't Tech after all. So that was hilarious for me, just because I hated that the CX Trooper is Tech theory even existed to begin with. My personal theory about that, though, and really from what... Why are you making a dumb face at me? Thank you. But my personal theory about
his OC's coming in.
Shut up.
That's his theory.
Shut up.
His OC
is that
gonna...
The CX Trooper...
His OC is gonna join the Star Wars saga. His name is Grimbo. And
I hate you.
He's a plus-size clone trooper.
I hate you. But
I'm cutting that out.
No, you're not. But my theory is that CX troopers are going to be not clones of Crosshair, but that's why Crosshair's hand is in the fidgeting time right now, is because something was taken, because although they are bred to have special traits, maybe they were able to take bits of his genotype and put it into other clone troopers, and that's why we see this whole like hand twitch thing to begin with, and why the trooper refers to him.
I think they just beat him a lot.
You think they just beat him a lot?
Beat the crap.
Nah, I don't believe that. So that's where I stand, at least, and I've seen a lot of other people talk about online, is that division was supposed to be run by Crosshair, and he didn't want to participate in it. So they're all basically his clones. So that's why they act a lot like him. The clone, it's the CX Trooper was moving a whole lot like how Crosshair does in season 1 of the Bad Batch. He has the sniper configuration of Crosshair. He wears the same dang backpack as the Bad Batch. So
Not the same. It's flat.
it's the same type
It's a
that they
lot
wear.
flatter.
No, it's got the same buttons and everything on the back when he picks it up and he throws it over his shoulder. Because it's got the slot. I got the Crosshair action figure right here to prove it, bro. He's got the slot right here for the back, for the sniper. You never see the barrel of this thing. You only ever see the back. Continuity error, take an L, Disney.
I don't know.
But what do you think about that?
I guess we'll never know.
You think that's a plausible theory or not?
No.
Damn, all right.
I think
I was cooking that one up too.
I just think I don't know. I don't think that they're clones of Crosshair or anything like that, but I definitely think they're modified clones that are specially trained. I don't think they're like clones of Crosshair, because then I think that they would look like him. Or would they? I don't know. I'm not Dave. And this season's still cooking, so we have yet to. Yeah, Hauser isn't dead.
No, I'm deleting that.
Jackson thought Hauser was dead.
Colorblind moment.
Mom, what? Anyway.
No.
Hauser's not dead. Jackson's just dumb, and he's gonna blame it on being colorblind and it being early. But really, it's just because his chromosomes aren't all.
Shut up. But the only thing I actually really didn't like about the CX Trooper, personally, the only gripes I had with this newest episode was that at the end of it, he survives the waterfall. And I get it. It's kind of consistently shown in the episode because he's banged around and he's very visibly limping, but he's fighting off a limp because he just has a kill mentality the entire time. He's like, kill Luke Skywalker, kill Luke, like that kind of a mentality.
Ruth Sabayoth mentality.
So he's like
David
that the entire
Goggins clone trooper.
It's the David Goggins clone trooper mentality.
All right, I'm calling him David Goggins for now on. It's not CX, it's not Assassin, it's Dave. Dave Goggy.
Dave Goggy the clone. No, so he's just so determined to kill the Bad Batch. And when he survives the waterfall, I was just kind of like, really? You got more of those guys. Like, you couldn't have let one die, and it was a fall. But
one did die.
Yeah. One did die because he got shot by his buddy. But that was really the only gripe that I had with the episode. And that's also nitpicking, too, in my opinion. But I was just like...
It's a dumb nitpick, Jackson. It's very dumb of you. Didn't even
Why did you flinch?
Because I am just steel. Oh, you didn't flinch either.
No.
But you were also expecting it. I don't know if you flinched that one.
1313 punch cast. Fight Club on the 1313
I do think it would be funny if we
podcast.
did a boxing match between the three of us to see who would win. I know I would beat you, but I think Tommy
No,
would
I'm totally taking you.
That is So here's a nice little story. So we used to do TikToks over the summer at work, and watch it. It's still on TikTok when we were using the Baby Keem sound. When he goes, beat him up. I said, Jackson, throw a punch. No joke. He hit us with one of these. And I said, ain't no way in hell.
It was a TikTok.
I said, ain't no way in hell. You just
We're not
did
even
that.
going to bring
We
that
had to
up.
teach him how to throw a punch. So I'm like 100% positive I could beat the crap out of this
I'm on
guy.
your camera now. No, I can beat this guy.
No,
That's the brother mentality, bro.
Now we gotta do it. Just know that I will I want your wife to be there so she could see you cry at my feet.
Man. Man.
Bro,
man, that ain't happening.
And I've been hitting the bag too. You're going down.
Oh, you hit the bag. You could beat me. No.
Jackson, why don't you show the audience how to throw a punch?
No, we're not going to do that. I don't need to prove myself on the pod.
He's just scared.
No.
Anyway.
Let's try to see.
Place your bets down below. The one with the highest super chat wins.
The highest super chat. No, I was just trying to look at some other.
Also, give us super chats so we can afford to pay Tommy to come back. He has the highest salary apparently.
Something that we're now seeing the batch kind of take a turn to as well is that Rex brought up at the end of the episode that maybe if they want to protect Omega so much, then they need to figure out why she's so special to the Empire. And this is something we haven't seen yet because their original plan for defending Omega and a reason why as well was just that, you know, she's just a kid and the Empire shouldn't do that because it's wrong. And
now it's, this is Joe Special.
Yeah, now they're realizing that she was created with a purpose. And Nalase's kind of mentioned that to us several times, but it's eluded us. We've always kind of guessed that she's Force sensitive, but we don't really know because I mean, but if you really want to draw on animals as the biggest thing, or maybe her ability to kind of like read people when they're playing like card games and whatnot, I guess. But do you have any other idea about what could be up with Omega if you stop blinking at me like you're my lover?
No. I just think that she's force. I'm gonna go beyond saying force sensitive. I think her main power is like being able to mimic. That's like her defect because we've seen her gain the ability to track from Hunter in season 1.
Yeah.
We see her in the beginning of this episode chewing on a toothpick exactly like Crosshair.
Yeah, now she's mimicking Crosshair's movements by going like this with the toothpick.
So like I
doing
think
the chin thing.
I think she might be slightly force sensitive or just have like an M count ability, but I think her flaw is she has the ability to pick up skills from other people.
It's not a bad idea. I kind of like that the best of all the other theories. Just because again, the main one that people have right now is that she's just force sensitive, you know. And I feel like that's a more realistic idea as well, is that she can mimic or pick up the skills of other clones or people as well, so she's extremely adaptable too.
I mean, they've been building that since season 1, if that's like
True.
what they're going for. So
yeah, that would be a plausible one, but like
that's my fan theory.
Yeah, but I was trying to see what. So besides the M count, it also seemed like Rex may have known what an M count is. Not entirely sure, but I don't know, maybe he picked that up on Ahsoka. I guess we're going to have to see next episode if that is going to be... That's not what I was talking... I was talking about the time.
Sorry, did you text me?
No.
We're good.
Okay. We always have to watch the camera's time for this because these have a limit. Like when we did the first episode of the show, and we talked for 15 minutes, and then the rest of our first episode is a blank screen.
Yeah, portrait of a blank slate.
So, I kind of also want to talk about something that's... So what does that one say? Okay, so the main camera's down. Yeah, so now we have side cameras to go with.
Okay.
So...
You silly goofy camera.
Do you want me to pause the audio?
No, just keep it going.
Okay, so kind of a dilemma that we've seen, not just in this episode, but in previous ones before.
We didn't lose that footage.
Oh, that would have been bad if we lost the footage and we had to do side angles now. Oh, that would look bad. Would that realistically happen? You know, we're not going to talk about that. The other camera's almost at 25 minutes too. And one of the last kind of talking points that we had for this episode was really about Wolf. It was really, really awesome to finally see Wolf. Shout out to Tommy, who did call it last week that Wolf was going to be in this week's episode. That was 100% a guess, but it was really funny anyway that it came true. At the end of this episode, we see Wolf and Rex kind of, you know, like remember each other, even though I'm pretty sure they never interacted in the Clone Wars together.
They most definitely did.
I really try to remember. Someone's going to correct me. That's okay. I'm a fake fan. It is what it is. But at the end, Wolf kind of has this realization that the Bad Batch, and Rex did at one point as well, was that the Empire's kind of sending them on these missions not to hunt insurgents, but to hunt clones and innocent people. And you can see the wheel starting to turn in Wolf's head of, okay, maybe I actually am not doing the right thing after all by staying with the Empire. And I feel like this episode very much planted the seed of rebellion for Wolf in the future.
I agree. This is the setup to him coming to be in Rebels and why he's there the whole time. The biggest question is, for me, where's Cody?
I know, where's
Cody went AWOL last season. Where's he at?
Yeah, and I felt like he would have either been in Rex's group or we would have heard his name because Rex and Cody are like best buddies.
I think he went AWOL for the ability to have him in the Kenobi series like originally planned. And then that was a way to write him out, so why he wouldn't be in Bad Batch. And then they already had this last season pretty much planned, started, and began animating by the time Kenobi was finalized.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, now Cody's gone. And now either they're going to write him in towards the end of this, or I don't think he's going to be in this at all.
I don't know. I mean, I guess we're going to see. We've always speculated since season 1 that Rex has that nightmare in Rebels where he's calling out to Cody because something has happened. Mm-hmm. And I feel like if Dave Filoni's going to put a bow on this whole thing, he might put that as the cherry on top of Trauma. But it was, again, really, really cool to see Wolf. Kind of a lore-based question that I had was more, do you think the troopers that are Wolf are the Wolf Pack and they just painted white instead? Or why is Wolf one of the only clones that has painted clone armor? Because we don't see that for a lot of the other clone commanders that are in the Empire still. Cody's an exception. He paints gray, but he's doling his color like we see the commandos on Tanis.
Wolf is gray.
Wolf is automatically gray, so maybe
but he has the yellow tick marks still on his helmet, so I don't know.
Yeah, he's got splashes of color, so I don't know. I guess we'll have to see.
He was cute.
All right, I'm gonna ignore that part. But did you have anything else to add for this episode for the week,
really.
Jacob?
Bangerang episode, really great. Very glad that this season is it's happening how it is. I was kind of worried that we were gonna get like the season 2 treatment where there was a little bit of filler in some episodes.
I don't think that there was filler. But
there was like character development in episodes, but there's like ones that like didn't progress the plot. So where it felt like wild goose chases. So we haven't had any of those really this season. Everything feels like the cogs are moving, the wheels are turning. Yeah. So I'm really, really enjoying it.
Yeah, I feel like the overall consensus is still the Bad Batch is amazing. It's fun that there's action. It's funny, the people who will always complain online are just going to complain online. I saw 1 or 2 comments that was talking about like, now the Bad Batch has too much action in it. And it's like, oh, and that's all you wanted last season, and now we have the action, so just stay mad. The Bad Batch is literally going to be one of the most goated shows ever. I feel like people are going to miss it when it's gone. Yeah. And they're really going to resent maybe hating it or trying to put it down so much so that we only got 3 seasons of it. Granted, the story will probably make sense in 3 seasons.
I'm pretty sure that it was a 3-season plan from the get-go.
Probably. I'm not going to doubt that because I feel like Clone Wars is probably going to be one of the longest running series-based shows that we've ever had for Star Wars, and nothing will really surpass that. I'll be surprised if anything is to ever go past 7 seasons on something for Star Wars. But with that, thank you, everybody, so much for watching and for bearing with us.
It's my line.
Oh, no. Jacob has to do the outro, everyone. I'm sorry. I can't make Jacob upset this week as he massages my back aggressively. That hurts. Quit it. That hurts. Quit it. That hurts.
Stop hitting yourself.
Screw you.
So, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the podcast. Please, if you liked it, leave a like, leave a comment. Let us know what you thought of these last 2 episodes because they were mint. Also, hit the join button. Make sure you join on Patreon to get entered that giveaway in the Gungan Boss tier. Join the Discord. Follow us on all of our social media, all linked down below. Buy some merch. Leave a super chat. Hug your mother. Kiss your fish. Walk the dog. Use the little scrubber after you leave street cards. And have a nice week, guys. See ya.
See y'all.
Bye.
Whoa.